Welcome to the Made Up Memphis podcast, where we celebrate the grit, heart, and hope that make the 901 shine. Each week we sit down with change makers, youth, and families to talk real mental health wins, money moves, and life skills breakthroughs. All the tools we use at Made Up Memphis to uplift, equip, and empower people to build stronger, more resilient lives. Whether you're 14 or 40, a parent, mentor, or ally, this is your spot for stories that heal and strategies that work. So grab a sweet tea, get comfy, and let's step into growth together. Because here at Main Up Memphis, you leave the baggage, keep the change. I think we take I think we all genuinely enjoy, the process, the layers, the digging and the questioning and all this other stuff. But, that's why, like, it takes a certain kind of person, I think, to be a therapist or a mental health professional. So, yeah, I just think we all have, like, I keep coming back to, like, the Avengers, and, like, we all have our own superpowers and our own, like, special skills, and our lenses are all kind of like pointing at different directions, and I just love that. And I plan on learning a lot of stuff from you guys. I already have, but, like, yeah, like,
Oh.
it's just cool, I'm here for it.
So I think that was supposed to be the springboard to us talking about superheroes as it relates to us. And so if you joined us for our last episode, it was stated by me that I attribute well we were asking what would be like your parallel or your superhero. So I was like, James gives me very much Doctor Strange, right? Because he's very textbook and you have to learn a lot, and it's a strength of his. It really is. I'm not even being sarcastic, like, for real. And
Like
then
much.
Joey, as you probably have discovered, Joey is the calm one of the group. Um, but he also means business, and that gave me very much Captain America, but like the recent Captain America. Did you watch the movie, Joey?
I'm gonna have to say no, I
Shame.
didn't. But I did watch another movie that I would like to talk to you guys a little bit about. So we can have, like, a little movie segment. But I want, if you guys have seen the movie Her by Spike Jonze with Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-mm.
No? Neither of you? Oh,
I
man.
live under
No.
a
All right,
rock.
so
I haven't
that's
seen
you
any
guys' homework.
movies.
I'm gonna watch Captain America, and then you guys have to watch Her,
Okay.
and then we can talk
And
about it.
then we wanted you guys, the audience, to tell us what do you think our corresponding superhero will be. So just comment on our Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you're seeing or listening to this, if you're not like driving, and tell us what do you think. Maybe by the end of this episode, what superhero you think goes with each clinician here. We would love to know.
Mm.
And also, they never answered my question about their favorite side dish. So tell us your favorite side dish, so I don't feel lonely. Thank you.
Don't
And
tell them.
we're celebrating. I hate you. We're celebrating Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and it is not 12 midnight, so we're still gonna get into it. It's so much
Yes.
into the sociology and the psychology of what we call masculinity, and there's so many lenses that you can put on it: micro, meso.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? Micro. But
No,
like,
no problem.
I think for the context of our conversation, like, Western masculinity. What does that look like?
Mm.
And how can we? There's so many conversations around it happening. People want to redefine it. People want to tear it down. People want to build it up. There's so
Mm.
much around it. I'll be interested to hear what you guys think. Like, healthy. I want to hear both. What do you think
Mm-hmm.
toxic masculinity is, and what do you think healthy masculinity is? And then how can we support those definitions or tear them down, even
Mm-hmm.
beyond Men's Mental Health Awareness Month?
Mm.
Whatever
That's
superhero
cool.
wants to go first.
Let's see. So toxic. I think toxic is being overused. I'm just going to throw that out there. I think the term toxic is way overused.
Hmm.
I mean, yes, there is a technical definition of toxic, but if we're just talking about what does masculinity mean right now, and I think, me personally, I think it's in flux.
There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of, with gender roles and expectations are evolving and things like that. And then, like the archetype of what a man was in like the 1980s, is way different than what a modern man is in 2025. And I think that's going to be a moving target. And so I don't think there's any right or wrong answer per se, but I think there is more of a push to a more sensitive version of masculinity. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, at least that's what I ascribe to, and I struggled with that for a long time as far as like, you know, masking sensitivity. And I think there's a lot of sensitive
Mm-hmm.
guys out there that really, you know, feel the need to put that kind of, I don't know, machismo out there and like act a
Mm-hmm.
certain way. And it's not, it's just a societal pressure. But I think that pressure is getting a little bit lower and lower into where now, masculinity is a little bit fluid in some ways. But toxic masculinity, I think, is pretty clear. It's misogyny. It's mean spirited and built on things from a really bad time in our history. So things like that. So I think I think we're doing our best to try to tamp down the toxic part and really ramp up the sensitive, rational, like just more centered version of masculinity, whatever that looks like. I don't know, I'm not a sociologist, but yeah, I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about that.
Sure. So for me, um, positive masculinity would be being able to see that somebody else wants to learn something that you know how to do, and then being able to teach them and help them to grow, right? And also understanding your limits as a person who teaches. Like, I've known people who have said, like, I'm not a teacher. Don't ask me about X, Y, and Z. Okay, I know not to go to you. Cool. I mean, that's just not part of your skill set. But for people who are able to teach others, or if you see somebody who has the capability to learn, go ahead and share that information with them, because information dies otherwise unless it's passed from person to person. That's kind of what's nice about like books, right? Is that we can write stuff down, and then like hopefully if we're teaching our kids to read whatever metaphorical stove they're about to touch, they can read not to do that, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
if you need to, you can open a book and you can figure out how to connect the car battery cables. Don't ask me. I need to read that book, but yeah, you can find out that information. And on
But
the other
isn't that
hand,
a
toxic.
masculine trope? Sorry, not to interrupt, but isn't that kind of a masculine trope where you got to learn how to? Every guy has to know how to change a car tire, but
Yeah,
like
I know
everyone
how to
needs to
change a
know that.
car tiger, but the battery, it's
Oh,
been 10
batteries.
years
Yeah,
since
that's what
I've
you
done
said.
that.
Battery.
Yeah, I'm not trying to electrocute myself. I'm going to look on YouTube first or call my dad.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
And then on the toxic side, it's more so like the machismo or putting on airs thing, like you were talking about before. I think that people try to be stoic, but they don't do a great job. Like they don't like either they're not the bookie type and they're not reading what stoicism is, or they get this idea in their head about what it means to be a man or tough or whatever, right? And they're trying to act on that, but it's like a little kid's impression of what a man is supposed to be. And we've had several generations of that, so it's just gotten progressively worse,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah.
results in what we've got today.
That is an excellent point. Huh.
Mm.
Uh, we have had people pretending or cosplaying or just projecting what their idea of because they never had a template or the template they had wasn't healthy. And I
Right.
guess a part of them recognized that or didn't and they continued or they tried to find it out on their own and maybe struggled with that. But I appreciate you guys sharing that. I even had to reevaluate the question, even though I posted, because for me, especially this Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, I wanted, and this was a theme in the men's collective that we had that we're still buzzing off from with Baptist Memorial Health, where Memphis was a sponsor and a breakout session. I want men to be healthy in their person, in their self, without the attachment of anything. let alone especially gender role or this construct that's arguable, debatable of masculinity, right? Because what is masculine? What is masculinity? Does it have a purpose? If so, what is that? How does that translate with me? It is so layered, so complex, and I think that it is also highly subjective. I think masculinity over the years has been treated, especially here recently, as an antithesis to femininity. I do not think it's that. I think it is a balance to femininity and vice versa. I also think masculinity, especially in the Western lens, is just to serve a purpose, right? It is to be a buttress to society, right? Biologically, we have different makeups, so we have attributed these features and these factors to masculinity. So if you are biologically a male and you do not show these things, then now your quote unquote masculinity is now challenged, right?
Yes.
And then it works for both ways. I will say over the years, though, there has been I don't want to say progression, but I want to say progression. That some things that we have called masculine and feminine are literally just life skills. Like to James' point, like I'm not insulting you this time for once. Um, to James' point about how to charge a car battery, yeah, that's a life skill. That has nothing to do with being a man or a woman or other identifier. Like you need to know how to charge a battery. Now, to the same coin, there were some ladies at my church and they were charging their car battery, and I got offended because I was like feet away, and I was like, "Why didn't you ask me? I could have did that for you." Some will call it chivalry, whatever. But I do think it is a life skill. A lot of things we attribute to it, like changing a tire, that's masculine. No, that's a life skill. Or
Doing the laundry for a guy, like I do the laundry, I help out with the laundry, I do help with
yeah,
cooking, like so. Yeah, like I
yeah.
think we're kind of beyond those rigid
I hope
roles,
so. Like,
Yeah.
please wash your drawers. That is disgusting. Like, you're not washing your drawers in the name of masculine. You're going to be masculine and stanky.
Mm-hmm.
That is disgusting. I just
The
got
women have
offended.
memes about people like that.
Yeah, that
If
is
you
not
you don't want to
okay.
be the skid mark guy
Yeah, at your big age, that's fine when
at
you're like
any
2, 3,
age.
pushing 4. But post potty train, even in like late elementary school, like you may still mastering it, but you're 35 talking about, oh, I'm not gonna wash my clothes 'cause that's not mess. That's a woman's job. Okay,
Be stanky then.
you're gonna be in the ER for a skin rash you can't do nothing with. So
Mm,
I think that is the first point of conversation, like really delineating the difference between what is masculine and then what's just like neutral or a
mm,
life skill or whatever, and then take off this dichotomous view of it. Like it's not masculine or feminine or hard or soft. It's whatever
mm.
benefits the unit. Like you mentioned, Joe, you help out. You have a small child. I'm sure it makes sense for you to help out. It has nothing to do with masculine or feminine energy or masculinity or femininity. And I really want men to embrace the concept of, first of all, critical thinking for this month. Ask yourself these questions, right? What is the reason behind this? Was I socialized this way? Does this serve me? We talked about toxic masculinity. Masculinity. Is this toxic? And is it toxic for me or those that I love? That is the real question.
Mm,
Because to
ooh,
your point, Joy, you were saying things are overused, and I would agree. Because I think toxic is a little bit subjective. Now, abuse, that is very clear. But
yes,
toxic
yes.
is subjective. And I see James want to say something. Go ahead, jump in.
Mhm,
I do want to jump in on the point that you made about, do we use our critical thinking skills for what is masculine and what is not? Because if we think way back in society, like most jobs used to be manual labor, right?
Right.
Okay.
Factories. Hmm.
And we also had structured society for men to be the only people bringing in income at that time, right?
yep.
So it was very easy to make a role division. But has society kept up with the way that work is done and who is doing outside of income revenue type of work. Because if we're going to stick to the old system, then yeah, it doesn't make sense to do certain things if you're a man, because it's working on the idea that you've been out in the field or working in a factory or doing
Come on.
something laborious all day, and you don't have the energy to do anything but to kick your feet up once you're at home, because that's all that home is there for if you, this is your role, right?
Right.
That's not what we're seeing in today's society. Every job is not go out and break your body anymore. For some people it is, and find your way around that, right? Do what works for your family also.
Right.
If that is not your structure, don't use that structure. It's not for you.
Right. Oh my God, yes. Do James, do we agree on something? But yes, do
Do
something that works for you. If you want to be that archetypal, I bring home the bacon type guy, you cannot be a broke guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, if you want a kept wife, you have
Yes.
to meet the conditions for the lifestyle that you want.
it's not automatic.
And that's why you are so anxious and upset and irritable all the time, because you're trying to fit into a role that you don't match. I hope
No, 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 no,
somebody gets
no.
free today.
I was born with an X and Y chromosome. I am entitled to this.
No, you're entitled to what you produce, which I really just hate I said that, because I want us to not have our identity connected to what we produce, because that's our problem now.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, in this
Okay.
context, it has to work. And if it does not work, it just doesn't.
Do not connect your identity to overproduction. You
Correct.
cannot work with materials that are not there. You cannot burn yourself up and think that you're still going to have enough of you left over for tomorrow. It's just not going to work that way.
It's not.
Okay, I gotta interject a little something. I'm curious now. We've been talking a lot about men's stuff, but how if you're a female listener, what should they be taking away? What should they be thinking about from this conversation, that they could learn something or glean something about the male identity and the male, like what we're talking about. What do you think women can take away from this conversation?
I'm not answering that till July 1st. It's still Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. No, I'm joking.
Well,
I think
yeah.
they should also, again, getting away from roles and assignments, it's about the person, right?
Mm,
How does the lifestyle I want fit with this other person, right?
mm,
Do their goals, and I'm not just talking about romantically, which of course is where my mind goes to, and we
yeah.
can go there, but because it's like one of the easiest examples. But do our goals align, right? Um, does what you see for the future match and or support what I want to do for the future? Because I also think that's a myth that you have to necessarily want to do the same
Mm,
thing. I just
mm-hmm.
think it doesn't have to be the exact same thing. It just needs to align. I
Yes.
think that's how you have healthier relationships, whether they be romantic or whatever. Um, but just again, back to critical thinking, like I think that'll stop all this war between, especially online, which is
Mm-hmm.
half of it is propaganda, but this war between men and women,
Mm.
no, you don't see like manatees fighting each other, or you
Mm-hmm.
know, birds fighting, like female male birds fighting each other. Why are we doing that? Like
Mm.
that's not,
Yeah, I
no.
think I think we got bigger fish to fry. We got bigger things to worry
Yeah.
about than the gender stuff. Yeah, I agree.
Hello. Like I think so. If you are a female listener, and you probably are, because I don't know. I was about to get stereotypical. I'm back. Um, I don't know a lot of men who
Keep
listen to
together.
podcasts, healthy ones anyway.
I listen to podcasts sometimes.
Are they
Yeah,
all
you know
healthy, or
Joey.
do you listen to bad ones too?
What's a bad one?
That's way
What's a
too
bad?
much
Yeah, what's a
talk.
bad one?
That is way too
Tell
much
us
I
talk.
what's
had to think,
bad
like, what's a
podcast
bad
you're listening to,
podcast?
Emmanuel.
I don't listen to like garbage bad podcasts. I like to learn and grow and develop, and I listen to finance stuff. I listen to psychology. You know, have you guys listened to Esther Perel's relationship podcast, where she actually
Sorry.
does live sessions with couples in the
Huh?
podcast space? Yeah, it's really cool.
Is that ethical?
They
First of
signed a
all,
release. They signed a release. They know what they're getting into. It's a whole thing. Yeah, but
All right, sounds a little Dr. Phil, but okay.
Dr. Phil carried for generations, at least 2 decades, which is a generation.
Mhm.
He really did. Oh, I don't want to go there. I'm not going there. Not going there.
Okay.
For another show.
That is another show. But to answer your question, Joey, no, because I didn't even realize people actually listen to podcasts until I married my wife. And the whole trope about, not trope, but saying that opposites attract, it is true. I listen to music darn near 24/7. I remember she was driving us somewhere for a date because, I'm allowing us, I don't have to control everything. And we got in the car and I was like, what is this? It was so foreign to me. Like,
Mm.
you're willingly listening to people talk in the car while you drive. Like, I hate commercials. I do not have one streaming service except for YouTube. That is not commercial free. My Spotify is commercial free. All my streamers, and I have like 10, not even exaggerating, are commercial free. Why are you talking? Shut up talking to me, right? But so the concept of listening to people, which just might sound contradictory because we're literally recording a podcast. um,
You've
it
been
was so
converted.
foreign to me, and it's hilarious because obviously I love talking, and to be a great speaker, you have to have excellent listening skills. They actually have to be better than your speaking skills. But something about just listening to people with like for leisure just blew my mind. I was like, what? But to the bigger topic at hand, it's okay to explore things that are not immediately to your nature, right? And even have some exchange. There are maybe 2 podcasts, including this one, that I would genuinely listen to, like for real. And now I have her listen to music almost as loud as mine. So there is a beautiful exchange that happens with this, if you want to call it masculine and feminine energy, but you have to have, it's a skill. You have to have the openness and the skill set to allow that to happen and not allow everything to be such a challenge, but see how you can integrate it if need be. And I think we will have much healthier relationships, and again, not just romantic, if you just allow people to be their genuine selves without this attachment or expectation of a label that is a social construct most likely tied to capitalism if we're in the West. So, yeah, let that be.
I like it. James, you've been awfully quiet.
Okay. This goes back to some research that I read back in undergrad, but so it's been some years. I don't know if this is current anymore. But I remember when I was in the cognitive neuroscience program that we were looking at some MRI studies, and it turns out that dudes are not using as much of their brains as ladies are. And so I get a lot of people who are asking me about like a relationship, and I'm just like, I need for y'all to understand that we are not on the same level of thinking that y'all are on. Dudes are using like 2 or 3, maybe 4 if we're lucky, brain areas connected at a time. Like, let's say we look at like a puppy or something, right? And the first thing that pops into our mind is, oh, that's a cute puppy. And then, oh, I want that puppy. And then, like, oh, it costs too much for me to get that puppy. And then we're done, right? It's like we're just going to enjoy this puppy in the moment because that's all there is to it. A lady would think of those things, but then she would also think, like, what are some ways that I could get that puppy? Maybe I can adopt this puppy, but I know that my friend is looking for a puppy. I should ask her if she wants this puppy. And then, like, oh, actually, so and so has an allergy, but this other friend was also looking for a puppy, right? So it's like 6 different things that she's balancing on like the daily basis with any given subject. And so dudes are not
This came up on the MRIs.
right. And so they were
Oh,
looking
wow.
at blood flow. And so they were assuming that different brain areas that were getting more blood are more activated, right? And so they were looking at this and they were finding out that women, well, what they theorized is that women have more brain interconnectivity for different subjects that they're thinking about at a time than men do, which kind of explains, like when men and women get into arguments, it's like, how could you have not considered that X, Y, and Z were a factor in this situation? It's just like, well, we're simpler than you. We did not. That is the answer. It's not that we knew about it. Like maybe we did, but it wasn't online. It wasn't an online brain area for us at that time.
Question, and ladies, I can hear you. My ear is burning right now. Is that a nature versus nurture thing? Because
That's
some
interesting.
can say that, and it could be a cop out. Well, I don't like this because I'm a man, which is literally what we're talking about now. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right. But they did not go into that. That was not what was studied, right? They were just looking at whether or not certain stimuli activate more brain areas for men or for women. Typically, women had more brain activity. With the dudes, we don't know if it's because of that's the way that we're socialized. Because with a lot of dudes, we don't socialize them to spend a lot of time thinking or considering how other people feel about things. A lot of the time, it's just like, oh, all right, are you done with this task? Get up and go do another task. Oh, you fell down? Can you get over it?
I
Like
would
we make it.
make. I'm not a gambling man, but I would bet Joey's last dollar that
Why,
that
Joey's?
is
Bet your own dollar.
Oh,
Main up.
oh,
okay.
main up.
I
Toxic.
There
would
we
bet
go.
James' last bottle of conditioner that it is socialization, because there is no way, because we are all organic intelligence, right?
Mm,
If we would be socialized otherwise, if we weren't born into these roles, you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If it
mm,
wasn't, hunt, protect, reproduce, that is primary and it's instinctual and it should be there, right?
mm-hmm.
That's, but I'm sorry. I can be very PC sometimes. I can just hear all the rebuttals, but I've trained myself to do that because of the nature of work that I do. But that's another
Mm-hmm.
conversation. Um, but that should be there because that's instinctual. That is biology. Some can argue
Mm-hmm.
otherwise. But there's my point is that there is more to you than that. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And that's where the epigenetic argument comes in, is
Mhm.
that yes, it can be because of the way that we're being raised, but also your brain grows new pathways based on what you're exposed to and what you
Right.
repeat, right?
Right.
Mm,
And so it's both.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's a good chance that it's both.
Yeah.
Not only that we are encouraging women to think about more things at a time, and that we teach kids, young boys, to consider less at a time, but also that through repetition of this encouragement and telling them this is how you have to behave, that this is the way that their brain is developing. Just like with the, I don't know which part of the brain actually does numbers, but I know the parietal lobe is kind of related to words, right? If you make somebody grow up reading a bunch and doing a bunch of like poetry, spoken word, anything like that, anything verbal, that brain area is going to be a lot more developed than like maybe the occipital lobe if they're not spending a lot of time looking at various things or artwork, right? Like they might not be able to tell the difference between like red and magenta, but they can tell you all about Shakespeare. I don't know. Just hypothetical example there.
I see why I call him Doctor Strange. Textbook.
Yes. Textbook. And I'm
Mhm.
gonna be the mediator slash middle ground guy because I've always been fascinated with the nature versus nurture discussion and debate, and I think part of the reason why is because I feel like it's not a binary thing. It's always like a spectrum, like somewhere in the middle, or a combination, a confluence of all these other different factors that come into, like, because you know how some guys are born, you know, with more like tough exterior or a tough persona. Like it's almost like maybe it's even a hormonal thing where some guys are just quicker to anger maybe, or they have just more testosterone than other guys, and they just are built that way. That's their biology. But that doesn't mean that same person can't be a sensitive, thoughtful, caring, compassionate person. And that's where the biology meets the socialization. And you can have an archetypical bodybuilder big guy that you think is going to be super mean and aggressive, and it turns out he's just a big teddy bear, you know. So yeah, I don't know, like it's I don't know how the there is I don't think there is a really satisfying answer, but it is something to think about. And I think, you know, both sides really do kind of, you guys both gave some really good insights into, you know, the biological functions of, you know, how our brains are naturally wired, you know, James was saying, but then like our conditioning, our social conditioning, you know, can override some of that genetic wiring in some ways. So yeah, I don't know, it's a mixed bag for me. And I'm gonna die on that fence. I'm gonna sit on this fence and until I turn into a scarecrow. All right.
A
Um,
scarecrow?
yeah, that's where my mind went. Scarecrow.
Why not a skeleton?
Well,
Because he's built different, Emmanuel. Dang,
Really?
leave him alone.
Is that something in your
all right. Let's.
DNA? You don't go to a skeleton, you go to a scarecrow?
I guess I identify with Team Scarecrow.
Yeah, Joey
Wizard of
doesn't age,
Oz
remember?
reference. What?
So Joey doesn't age.
That's true.
Well, we established that in the last episode, so there's that.
He's
I
For
would
built
the
just,
different.
if you are
listeners,
watching this, please, Joey, please make this a short. If you are watching this, please tell us how old you think Joey is. If
that's a
you are
fun little
right,
game.
I
Okay.
will like your comment. You thought I was going to give you a prize? No. But if you
Mm.
are right, I will like your comment because I am still shocked to this day. I'm still shocked.
You know, it's funny. Like I have a fond memory of going to Six Flags in Atlanta, and they had like that game where like it was a carnival game where they guess your age, and I smoked them. Even and this was in my early 20s. Like
See,
yeah,
he's already
so
giving y'all a hint.
it's definitely a thing. It's an Asian don't raisin thing. Yeah, I think we're putting that
Correct.
out there. Yes. All right. Well, that was I really like that discussion, honestly, because, you know, we really covered a lot of different aspects of masculinity. You know, we touched on, you know, the socialization part, we touched on the biological part, and I don't know. I think, and then, you know, I really wanted to picture, you know, female listening audience and like, okay, what are they going to glean from this type of conversation? So I really appreciate you guys, you know, jumping in and really giving it your all. And yeah, so if you guys have any feedback or comments or questions, you know, we're gonna be engaged on the YouTube, all the comment sections. I'm pretty responsive, pretty active. We might even go into the Reddit category. I don't know. I haven't done a Reddit page yet, but you know, if you know, we can even have our own mood dudes, our own Man Up Memphis subreddit. I don't know if it's a little premature. We'll put a pin in that. But you know, just a little bit of a self congratulation for us. Just we just passed 50 downloads for our episode. So
Woo!
thank you guys. We appreciate it so much. You know, 50 episodes is to me it's a huge deal. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just over
nice.
the moon.
It
Emmanuel's
was
not
good.
impressed. He's like, let's get to 50K and then we can celebrate.
Correct. Mm.
Oh man.
But 50 is
But
dope. And
yes.
it's dope because I'm doing it with you.
Aw. Look at that.
Uh,
See, that's healthy male affection right there. You know, that's the kind of stuff we should be normalizing. Is you know, I watched I've been watching a lot of clips about like manhood and you know the male experience and Josh Johnson actually who just so happens to be coming to Memphis. And you know, Josh, if you have some extra time and you want to talk to some Memphis people, Made Up Memphis podcast, you know, we might be interested in having you. I mean,
We
you know,
would.
if our schedules align. But anyways,
Please
all that to
come.
say,
We
we
want to
love
chat.
we loved. I shared in the group chat your bit about you know, this TikTok trend that's going viral. That's basically guys calling other guys and telling them good night. Like
yeah.
basically wishing them like, hey man, I just wanted to say I hope you have a good night, man. Sleep tight. You know, and it's meant to be funny, but
Hmm.
as Josh Johnson like tells the story really well and really funny, you know, he basically he observed in this trend that guys were actually kind of like low key connecting with each other. You know, even though this was like a funny gag, like it actually brought a couple of guys to like really have a conversation, and it turned into like a real thing and a real connection. So I just really appreciated, you know, a comedian like Josh Johnson, like elevating that kind of discussion to his on his platform. You know, and I think he's doing a really good job of you know, asking some of these tougher questions about manhood and masculinity and just in general society and culture. So he's really good. Excited to see. I have tickets. I'm go ahead and say I'm a fanboy. I have tickets to his show. He's got 2 shows in Memphis coming up next month, and we're gonna try to get the Mood Dude crew out there if we can. But yeah, if you're a Josh Johnson fan, you know, shout us or comment, you know, say we love Josh Johnson or something, and you know, maybe we can get him on the show.
Josh, you
Social
owe us a
experiment.
check. As much as Joey talks about you, my guy,
Oh
you
yeah.
owe Joe at least some backstage passes. I'm
I
listen.
low key have been
Honestly,
kind
yeah.
of stalking him, honestly, but you know, in out of love, Josh, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
He
I
didn't
know
say
I've been
that, Josh. He
persistent.
didn't. He didn't mean that.
I've been
Hey,
very
there's just
persistent.
somebody else in the group whose name starts with J. Can we?
Yeah, there
I'm
you
sick
go.
of it.
And a
Yeah,
double
I'm
J.
not joking. Our audience literally do we there's like 3 group chats. And one of them, everyone's name starts with J except for mine and our founder, Rachel. What is that
Mhm.
about?
You want to know what that's about?
No, not if it's coming from you, James.
Change your name. Just
I
legally
would
change it.
never, and I don't use the word never often. I don't use words like never, always, forever, unless I really mean it. I would never change my name
Hear me
ever in
out.
life.
What
Hear me
about
out. You
Immanuel?
could. Yeah, I was about to say.
Absolutely not.
Oh, God. It has a
Never.
nice ring to it. Okay.
No, it does
We'll
not.
table that.
Joey, I
You could have
like
a
you
really
when
nice
you're
name. You could have
neutral.
a really nice J name,
James, go away.
like
Listen,
James.
I want to
James is
talk
a
about
great
something
name.
you brought up
Millions of
real
people are
quickly.
named James. You should try it. Try it for a day.
No,
Okay. Emmanuel, you had something you
thank you.
wanted to bring to the
I
table.
just wanted him to feel that period after I said no, because no
I
is a
didn't
complete sentence. Yes, you
because I
did.
was calling you
It was
lame.
all over your face. Listen, I think oh, I don't know if that's a can of worms, but let's go fishing. So to that TikTok trend that I'm aware that you talking about, James. I was in another similar space like this. We were having some conversation around Men's Mental Health Month, and they were saying how men, not as much these days in certain circles, but can be very dichotomous in their view when it comes to affection. Either it's none or
Mm-hmm.
it's perceived homosexual. And whether there's a
Mm-hmm.
negative connotation to that or not, that's up to the individual. But like it can
Mm-hmm.
never just be genuine love or affection, It can never
Mm-hmm.
just be, bro. I always have to have some motive behind it, which I think is toxic.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be curious to know your thoughts on that. Like, why is that so polar, so spectrum with men? Why can't we just let it be what it is? Because I think most men would know if somebody is flirting with you, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe you just haven't been exposed enough to understand. Oh no, this is literally just platonic love.
Mm.
Here's my
James,
theory.
his wheels are turning.
Oh
He's got
Lord.
something going. All right, James, go ahead.
Here's my theory.
Oh Lord.
Throughout time and throughout history and throughout civilizations, homosexuality has been frowned upon, right? Because we can't amass wealth if our son is homosexual, if our daughter is homosexual, right? We need our kids to marry and to build
Always
wealth.
capitalism.
It always goes back to capitalism. In any case, that's why people get so damn mad, is because we've had families over generations trying to build this wealth, and then we have like one homosexual kid, and then what do you mean we can't build wealth anymore? That everything I did was for nothing? And then people are flying into rages, right? In addition to that, there's also religious caveats,
Which is probably also
motivations.
capitalism.
It is to treat homosexual people badly, right? So, with all that, again, are we using roles that fit our current society? Because the homosexual kids can still build wealth and pass that off to somebody else. they can pass that off to a niece or a nephew. Why did it always have to be a direct descendant? It didn't. But because that's what the role required, that's what everybody just did, and nobody questioned it for a long time. That's my theory, anyway. But
I just want to say this.
with that being,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
and with that being dangerous, right? No guy wants to express any type of affection for another man, lest it be in this day and age of people not understanding what is homosexual, what is just a friendship. Nobody wants to be called a homosexual because then we get cut off from our support networks, we get cut off from our business, we get cut off from everything and ostracized.
Which is why there's such a
alone.
high rate of anxiety and depression and suicide ideations in the LGBTQIA plus community, because men are already socialized to not talk. And then you're going to have the nerve to be a homosexual man, and throw some other layers in there. Don't be a BIPOC homosexual man. Oh yeah. You have so many strikes against you, and it's not healthy. But what I wanted to interject on earlier, when you brought in the religious component, I can't speak for our religions, but I am a youth and young adult pastor. I've been, actually today makes 12 years I've been in the clergy. When people use the argument of, thank you, Joey. When people use the argument of Sodom and Gomorrah, please, thank you, James. Please do your research. Sodom and Gomorrah was not destroyed because of homosexuality. Sodom and Gomorrah is where we get the word sodomy. It was non-consensual sex. Okay? It was, I don't know if I can say that over the air, but it was grape, right? It was, that is why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, because men were literally sexually assaulting other men. Okay? Not because there was a consensual homosexual encounter. That is two different things. Do your research. I just want to put that out there for those who may be a part of the religious community who are listening to this. Thank you for your time.
Cancel Immanuel specifically. Mood Dudes will still be broadcasting every other Monday.
Honestly, I love that. I love that it
Made Up
went
Memphis
there.
does,
And
as an aside, Made Up Memphis does not endorse the views or opinions of any of the individual Mood Dudes.
Correct. No, for real talk.
yeah.
He doesn't want to get his
you
head
know,
blown off by Amanda Waller.
What are you doing to get these threats?
Yeah,
Why is this always on your mind? Because you're always doing something. Stop doing stuff.
that's an assumption.
Every thought that comes into your head doesn't need to come out of your mouth. That's what is
You
getting you in trouble
know,
with
you
her.
heard that ticker ticking in your head because Amanda Waller
I
was
don't
about to blow
have
your head
this
off.
because I don't do things that she doesn't like. I've never
highly
pushed her
doubt
to that
that.
point.
Don't make me call her on air.
I've never pushed her to that point, sir.
we should have Miss Rich
should.
Hotel on the show. With the Mood Dudes. I'm gonna have to talk to her because I think she would love that. Honestly, she's been really supportive of this little endeavor, this side project that we got going. And then we're also doing regular interviews with Man Up Memphis team members, and we actually got a couple people who are not true members of, as far as I understand, that actually want to be on the show as well. So
Nice.
if you feel like you have something to bring to Memphis that you think needs to be highlighted, and maybe you're doing something really good, or you want to highlight an organization that's doing really good in the city, then shoot us an email, and maybe we'll feature you guys. What's
Michelle
that?
Obama.
Oh yeah. We're manifesting. So this is our manifesting segment. So we're going to manifest a bunch of people that we want to have on the podcast. So Emmanuel has voted for Michelle Obama,
Please.
and you had a
today.
couple other. And what was your logic behind Michelle Obama? Oh no, that was James's logic. Okay, we were talking about this ahead of time.
We want to invite Mrs. Michelle Obama because she helped to get Orange Mound named as one of Memphis's historic districts.
Yes.
As one of the first self-sufficient Black communities.
Love that.
Yes, there's a lot of history in Orange Mound, and I know a lot of people. It gets a bad rap, but I mean they're trying to revitalize in Orange Mound, aren't they?
Revitalize or?
Well, wasn't there like a school or a
really-
library that got refurbished in Orange Mound?
Yeah. So it was. We installed one of the Memphis libraries behind one of the community centers in Orange Mound recently. Yeah. It's never really been a situation where we have tried to let it go downhill.
Mm-hmm.
There's always been people. There's been just as many people trying to build Orange Mound up as we have had bad actors tearing it down. Right?
Mm,
It's a constant cycling. Things are always evolving in Orange Mound.
okay. Yeah, and that's going to
If you
be
all didn't
something that,
know,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Joy. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, that's part of what we're trying to bring the community members and the big players together and, like, really address some of these things at a more systemic macro level. And we're just, we're the worker bees, but we're also, we're thinking big, might as well, and we're gonna shoot our shot and see what happens. Um, but yeah, speaking of shooting shots, Memphis Grizzlies. We got any intel on Memphis Grizzlies? Oh, yes, I wanted to bring up. I in the previous episode I had mentioned, not our episode, but episode 5 that's coming out soon, that I wanted to meet the Japanese Grizzlies player Yuki Kawamura, and yeah, I'm actually trying to meet him. I'm trying to get his autograph. So, if anyone from the Grizzlies is listening, that would be really cool. My mom is coming in from Japan literally tomorrow, and she's a huge
Woo-hoo.
fan. A lot of Japanese people are just over the moon between Shohei Ohtani, who's a baseball player in the Dodgers, and then Kawamura for the Grizzlies. Like, there's a Japanese pride there that's like hard to explain, but they just are fanatic about their Japanese players playing in American sports. So she's just happy to be coming and visiting. She was disappointed that there wasn't going to be a game, but I'm still trying to figure out a way to get her at least meet him, take a picture with him or something like that. So
Oh, I hope that
see what
happens for you,
happens.
Joey.
Yes, we'll see what happens, and if it doesn't happen, I tried. Um, but yeah, so we're manifesting. Hey, let's have Yuki come on the show. That would be, man, that would be a dream. So I'm probably need an interpreter because my Japanese is subpar. I will go ahead and admit it. I'm like,
Do an on the spot interview with your mom there.
ooh, well, I think he has an interpreter.
I
But I mean, he's
support
a
this.
pretty big deal in Japan. Like, I mean, I think people are
Oh,
not really understanding how high. Like, he has an ad campaign with Asics, which I'm trying to get his shoes from Japan. I'm trying to get my mom to bring me some shoes from Japan. His basketball shoes,
mm-hmm,
because those will be collector's items someday. I think, at least for me.
mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to get her to bring me some Japanese jerseys of his, from Japan. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys in the loop. But okay, James, what's your manifestation? Who do you want to bring to the podcast?
I would want to bring. Okay, so there's an artist named Meg Siv, and she's done a lot. She shares a lot about work that she's done on herself and surviving toxic personalities. I would want to talk to her.
And what was her name again?
Meg Siverud? Meg Siv. Meg Siv. Just call her Meg
Meg
Siv.
Siv. Meg Siv.
Subaru,
Okay.
like the vehicle.
No, that's a Subaru. This is SYV. Meg Siv.
All right, we'll put it in the show notes, and then we'll add them, and say, hey, we mentioned you guys. So I think Emmanuel, you'd also mentioned
No,
Brene Brown, which would be like for social workers. That's like
we don't care
a
about
big
her.
deal.
I want to bring Meg the Stallion. Which I was
Ooh,
going to say that before you said Meg Sif, so don't think that I
no,
thought
you're
about
good.
her. I actually thought about her when Joey said that his Japanese is a little rusty because I can say a few things in Japanese like
Go ahead.
noni, and that's just from watching anime. I can say um um dang it, I lost it. It's how you say oishi. That means delicious,
Oishi.
right?
Yeah, there you go.
But I can also say okone katsugu watashi wasta, which means I make money. I'm a star. Because if y'all didn't know, James and Joey and our listeners, I am a hottie. I love Megan Thee Stallion. And if you know Megan Thee Stallion, you know that she loves her Japanese culture, particularly anime.
Mm.
But like, I would, oh my God, I would love to interview Megan the Stallion. Megan, if you are listening to this, I know you have your platforms for mental health. So does Taraji B. Henson, specifically for men. So you come on too, because I know y'all are
There you go.
friends. I would love,
Mm.
I'm sorry, we would love to interview You guys, oh, I would, I listen, the things I would do for that interview. I
Well,
probably shouldn't say over the air.
that's for the special episodes. We're gonna have like a whole special. You know how they some of the podcasters have like the secret episodes or whatever, the bonus shows. Yeah, so we'll have a bonus show someday.
I love you, Megan.
All right. Well, I mean that's a pretty good spread, and I really I think yeah we've got a good spectrum. We got sports, we've got entertainment, we've got mental health. Um, yeah, I mean, oh
Yes,
wow,
her. Bring her on the show, please.
okay. Yeah,
Let's
we
talk
need like
about
a
Megan
social
today.
media team for somebody to reach out to. I mean, mostly it's just me being annoying and trying to grab people on the internet. But but yeah, so okay, we got some momentum there. I will keep you guys updated on if we make any contact. And I'll go ahead and say, going back to Josh Johnson, I'm sorry if I've annoyed you with my comments on like Facebook and things like that. So I apologize. I realize that it's probably annoying, but it comes from love because I genuinely have been watching your stuff for a while, and no harm. But yeah, we're just big fans, and we're excited to see you in Memphis. So, um, well, guys, was there anything else that we wanted to touch on, or any updates from the last episode?
I don't think any updates, but I'm still going to shill for the show. If you have any questions, please send them to info@mainupmemphis.org. We would love to field your questions. You can also find Joey's information in our show notes down below. Any type of questions about mental health or relationships, or am I crazy? Be ready for us to say yes, though, because a lot of people in Memphis, I don't know, we have some dysfunctional families and some dysfunctional
Mm,
situations. You
mm-hmm.
might be doing something crazy, but we'll at least help you straighten it out. Absolutely, please send us questions. We love to hear from people and we love to answer questions.
Yes. Oh, and that reminds me, we did talk in the pre-show like that we are gonna bring up a money thing. So I asked Jasmine in episode 5 if she could give her 18-year-old self some financial advice. What would it be? Before I even finished the question, she was like, "Do not max out your credit cards." So she had that one ready to go, and we talked about it a little bit, but yeah. So I guess this is going to be a running segment on anyone who comes on the show. So I might as well get you guys' takes on this because we it's part of the show now. So, who wants to go first? 18-year-old self, money advice. James is bored.
Save.
He's yawning.
SAVE. I'll have to rock paper scissors for that one, James, because I don't want to say I have like regrets because I was learning,
Mm-hmm.
But and that would be the main thing because I can spend. I don't mean just spend as in like blow money. I mean like budget, make investments, make money
Mm-hmm.
moves. But as far as like, and when I say save, I literally mean just accumulate. I don't mean like save with ROI or investment. That's a different thing. I
Mm-hmm.
will say most rich people I know, like millionaire status and up, they don't really explore the concept of saving like other people's do outside of cash. Like they all have a cash savings,
Mm-hmm.
but all the other income is invested. So what we will call, I'm not gonna say we because I'm rich too, but what most some would call saving, they call investing.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
would say so now that I've said that out loud, I would tell my 18-year-old self to invest and have an emergency fund because that's really the term. Have an emergency fund and invest. Other than that, I think I did okay. Still
Okay.
learning and growing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
always,
and
always.
I would choke me by the neck because so many things could be
Mm-hmm.
avoided, especially in my early 20s. That broke era.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that's
Mm-hmm.
over. But like, I could have avoided so much if I
Mm-hmm.
just saved and invested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would say. How about you guys?
Probably, yeah, save. I'm glad that you went into how to save because I would have challenged you because my things would have been save too. But specifically, I would have said do what you can to not move out from home ASAP.
Yeah.
Rent is expensive. It takes up a good amount of your check, and the jobs around you ain't going to be paying nothing for a good minute, for at least 10 years. So stay at home
So kind
or
of
get a
build a
roommate.
financial foundation first before you kind of just go out and flail, which is what a lot of young people do is they kind of wing it, and they get a couple of roommates maybe. And that's exactly what I did. I just got some roommates, made some dumb decisions, and did not manage my money well. So yeah, I would say for me, the biggest thing 18-year-old me struggled with was just kind of like mindless shopping on things that didn't really like, because I was big into movies. Like I had a DVD collection, and I would always want to get like the special edition or the limited edition, and it was like a collector thing and a movie nerd thing, and I probably spent a good amount of money on just DVDs. And then the irony and the sad irony, I still kind of, a part of me still dies with every time I tell the story, but I lost all of my DVD collection in a fire in like
Mhm.
2003. And the icing on the cake was I didn't know anything about home, like property insurance. We didn't. None of us had insurance, so all of our stuff was just burnt up, and we had to start from scratch. So that's my cautionary tale: is you can spend all your money on these items, these things, and then it can just go up in smoke. So I would tell myself, 18-year old self, go out and do things. Go out and explore and experience life while you're young. Not to say that I didn't, but I would have done it in a little bit more intentional, mindful way. As much as an 18-year-old can be intentional and mindful, you know what I mean? Because that's not really something that comes natural to a lot of teenagers. But yeah, that's some good advice for future listeners. If you're 18 or younger, we do have a financial literacy component to our program at Made Up Memphis, and I can sit here and talk all day about the psychology of finance and things like that, but yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're here. We're here to try to change the narrative around money, but also change the narrative around mental health. So if you like our vibe, you like what we're doing, give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe, share it. Sharing goes a long way. Sharing is caring. I just made that up. I've never heard that expression before, so that's like a new thing. I just came up with that. So I'm
I
gonna
like it. You should say
probably.
it more.
I
You should
think I
coin
should
that.
probably trademark that.
Patent.
Sharing is caring. Like it rhymes. It's original. It's unique. So you're welcome, universe. But yeah, I, I really yeah. So I mean, we got a lot of good stuff today, guys. I enjoyed this conversation. We're coming up on an hour of recording, so that's pretty good. So the next episode, what are we teasing? What are we going to talk about? Or are we just gonna kind of wing it
Megan
Next
Thee
time on
Stallion.
Mood Dudes,
on the next Mood Dudes?
we talk about Immanuel's darkest secrets.
I'm perfectly fine with that. But I'm hoping Megan Thee Stallion will be on our next episode. So
Well,
that's
you
what
know
I want
what?
to
Since
talk about.
since I've been taking on like an annoying Josh Johnson and Yuki Kawamura, so I think your mission now is to try to use your clout to try to get into Megan the Stallion's DMs. I think you can do it. I believe in you. You have to do it now
Honestly, I
because
probably could. That's the funny part.
see, there you go.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Challenge accepted. And then James, you might as well reach out to your prospective therapist, influencer type. And yeah, maybe that's something that we could explore is reaching out to other social media therapists and people in the mental health field and kind of talk their brains, pick their brains.
You know who
Oh,
else I want to
James
come on
got
the
something.
show? I want your
Yes,
friend Trend to come on the show. I want Mr. Blake W to come on the show.
your friend. What?
Your friend Trend.
Okay.
She's a friendship influencer. And
Oh,
I also want Mr. Blake W, who's kind of like a self respect and boundaries influencer.
okay. yeah, so we're gonna have to start exploring the mental health influencer space. Just to learn from them. And actually, there's a therapist that does have a podcast. Called Sell the Couch, I think. I'm friends with him on LinkedIn. I might have to reach out to him because he would be a good person to talk to, because he can also talk about the entrepreneurial side of therapy and how to build a business and the business side of things. Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but in grad school they didn't talk about business stuff. So that's probably a whole episode right there. It's just
Do we get to talk to the baby therapists?
that's me right
Oh,
now. Oh, you're talking. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm a baby therapist, so
No, Joey, you've been doing this for a minute.
okay. Well,
To the
I feel
brand new,
like a
the shiny
baby.
ones.
Oh, okay. That's right. So we should start partnering with schools like Memphis, University of
two of
Memphis.
them. Yeah. Rachel,
Okay,
I
something.
think you should start working on that.
You know who
It's
else we
funny
could get
how
on
we're
the
like
show?
talking to Rachel through the podcast because we know she's going to listen to this eventually,
Just waiting
and
for
she
the
does
opportunity to
respond.
blow
She
James'
she
head off
does
his head.
respond. Yes. I don't know.
I think you
Go
just
ahead.
want this to happen because you know it's impending. This is your impending doom. You just want to share it with people. It's not
No.
happening though. Um, Another person that we need to segue on the show is Dr. Raquel Martin from Nashville. She's great.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to put all these into the show notes and start tagging them. Uh-oh, what's going on? James
What
is
question do you
doing.
have in your mouth, sir?
I don't know what James is fussing about. I don't know.
Oh man,
James
there's
is
some
being
shenanigans
James.
going on for
Hey,
the podcast
audience.
listeners. Yes.
Why? One more thing
Oh
I
wait,
guys
I don't
want
know
you.
why I responded to that, but yes, go ahead.
Oh,
You said, "Hey,
one more
audience." I
thing.
said, "Yes." Okay, go ahead.
Huh? What is happening?
You
Uh,
said "Hey, audience," and I responded, "Yes," like a
wow.
silly person. Yeah.
This
So go ahead.
play-by-play by Joey Laswell and Emmanuel Warris.
Sometimes I wonder how we got here. Because one day I didn't know y'all, and now I'm being berated by your personalities. I don't understand. Um, in addition to guessing Joey's age and commenting
Mm.
what superheroes you think we are and your favorite side dish that they still haven't answered, um, also guess what you think our zodiac sign is. I would love to know. Not the Chinese one, but if you're into that, you can let us know.
Hi everybody.
I have the
Hi
floor,
everybody.
James. The floor is mine.
I
The
just
floor
want
is
to let everybody
mine.
know that this is a safe space and we listen and we don't judge.
Yes.
However, we does not include me in the situation. We is them too. I will judge you if you are a star racist.
Oh my God, I'm
Oh
not doing
wow.
that. Just tell us. I'll be curious to know what you think our
Yes.
zodiac signs are. That's it.
So it's going to
I'm
be like half roast or a third roast, and then 2/3 is going to be like, okay, well, let's talk about that.
I will
So,
judge you about this specifically.
okay.
What does
All
that
right.
sound
Well,
like, you
fair
guys?
warning.
What not horoscope? What zodiac is that? What does this zodiac does James sound like? And I don't even know if James will confirm if we were right or not,
Mm.
because that's just who he is.
I'll tell you what
But
my zodiac sign is.
what'd you say?
I'll tell you what my zodiac sign
Okay,
is.
then what is it?
Offline. Well, are we doing it now, or
Once
are we
everybody
going to?
has, how are they going to guess if they already know, Emmanuel? We are trying
Because
to
parallel
increase audience
universe.
engagement.
Engagement.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, so shout out to Maine Up Memphis. Thank you, Joy and James, for sharing time with me this evening. I'm going to resume eating tacos, and I look forward to our next podcast. If you haven't already, like, follow, share Maine Up Memphis, including the podcast and reels and whatever else awesomeness that we release on our various platforms. Again, if you have
Substack.
questions,
We're on Substack now.
that too.
Boom, made it happen. So yeah, gonna do some
And
writing. So if you're aspiring writer, or you're a writer and you want to contribute some articles, or anyone on the Man Up Memphis team, we're gonna start doing some articles and stuff.
yes,
Yes.
I'm signing
Well,
out.
James, you got any last sage words of wisdom that you want to impart onto the world?
Keep your star racist comments to yourself.
Oh, okay. All right.
because
Well,
9 times out of 10 you will be wrong.
you use your platform for that, so I hope you feel good about that. Because I
I
said
do.
to
We
the
need to
world,
stop
that's your
being.
message to the world. Okay.
We need to
All right.
stop being star racist. That's my message to the world.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's the hill he's dying on, everybody. So,
Is
anything
he
from
gonna
you,
turn into a
Mister?
scarecrow too?
No, I'm going
Oh,
to
great.
morph.
Now I'm just imagining me like with a scarecrow body and somebody making a meme of me as a scarecrow. That's great. I just it's like bad luck Brian, I just did to myself. Oh man. All right. So Emmanuel, do you got any last parting thoughts?
Nope. But I will say I'm the best sign out of all of them.
Oh.
And the next thing I will say for real, man, please, 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 please continue addressing your mental health in a healthy way, whether that be seeing a therapist or a life coach or whatever your preferred helping practitioner is, clinician is. Take your medicine if you need to. Please see or start seeing a primary care physician if you have not. Get your teeth clean, get your eyes checked, get a haircut, get your
Do
nails
your
done, get a
laundry.
pedicure, do your laundry. Oh my God, yes. Take time to relax. Go fishing.
Mm, mm,
Do some pro socials. Engage in
mm,
protective factors. Like, who is your emergency
yes.
contact? Do people know where you are? like,
Mm-hmm.
um, address your finances because there is a
Yeah.
correlation, heavy correlation
Mm-hmm.
between your mind and your wallet or your financial portfolio. So yeah, all that. Explore your interpersonal relationships. Do you have good coping skills? Do people like talking to you? Don't
Mm-hmm.
be like James. Do people? That is the top recommendation. Don't be like James.
I talk to people for a living. What are you talking about?
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
be like James. Um,
Don't have
and
good
then the
boundaries? Is that
best
what you're
thing
telling people? You don't tell people to have bad
And the
boundaries? What is
best
wrong
thing
with
you can
you?
do for your mental health awareness is not be like James. No, I'm kidding. Is to is to, is to stick around and make sure that you're plugged in with this awesome resource here in Memphis. We are here to help. We are here to serve. We are here to help keep you away from James, and we are here to make sure that your mental health is addressed in a healthy way.
We do this with James so that you guys don't have to. Okay, that's. Oh man,
Thanks, Joy. That's
goodness.
all I got.
All right. Well, I guess my parting thoughts, in light or in honor of Mr. Johnson, call up one of your buddies. If you're a guy, call up one of your buddies. Wish him good night. Even if it's a joke, do it and see what happens. Tell us what happened. Comment and say, hey, I've reached out to my best bud of many years, and we haven't talked in a while. And so yeah, like just do that. I'm gonna do that myself. So I encourage everybody to do that. Yeah, take care of your mentals, take care of your physicals, take care of your financials, and take care of each other. We're all in this together, and I think there's a lot of division out there. And let's just try to come together as humans, as people, and be kind. Be kind, not nice, right, James? Be kind.
You got it.
Oh,
You
there
got
we
it.
go. All right. Yes, I'm listening. I'm paying attention. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate your time. I really do. This is my therapy right now, is talking to you guys, getting this out there into the world, and just kind of shining a light on this wonderful organization and the city of Memphis. Um, yeah. So thank you everybody for coming to my TED Talk. Um, or our TED Talk, I should say. Yeah, we should do the three-way TED Talk. That would be fun to watch. Um, all right, we're manifesting that too.
Yeah,
So,
for real, for
uh,
real. I would
all
love
right,
that.
wherever Ted is, where's Ted? But we're gonna have a talk with Ted. Um, all right, well that's it for the Mood Dudes Made Up Memphis podcast. Man, we're happy to be here. We're loving you guys, and thank you so much for the support so far. And this is just taking off. So thank you guys, and have a great evening.
All right, well, that's a wrap for today's episode of the Main Up Memphis podcast. Remember, real change starts when you show up, break cycles, and walk into something greater. If you felt inspired, do me 3 quick favors. Subscribe and leave a note or a 5-star review so that more people can find us. Share this episode with someone who might need a lift. And get involved. Volunteer, refer a youth, or donate at mainupmemphis.org. Follow us on our socials at mainupmemphis for behind the scenes goodness, and send your questions or success stories to us, and they might make it on air. Until next time, here at Main Up Memphis, leave the baggage, keep the change.